Hello everybody, Steffi here from The Makers. Welcome to our free tutorial, needle felting tutorial on how to make this fantastic, colorful and bright phoenix. It's actually a project from the Fairy Folk book, which is here. So you can see the book as well. If you have the book, then you can felt along, but if you don't have the book, obviously I will show you how to make it, and maybe you get tempted to buy the book because there are some fantastic projects in there. So yes, and I tell you also what I will be using whilst I'm making the phoenix, so you can maybe rewatch it and then make one later if you haven't got everything to hand right now. But before that, I want to say hello to everybody, and before that I want to announce a change that we're making to our gift voucher giveaway. So as the makers, we always pride ourselves that we're very generous. You know, what you're watching now is free. You don't have to pay for it, and we've always been giving away prizes during our live streams, and we will continue to do that, but we're cutting down on the number because it's just getting a little bit too much. And like with everybody, we also need to just make sure that we are there in the long run like everybody else. So we will still you will still enter into our giveaway by commenting, as you have always done during the live streams only, and namely today, that is what is today, the 23rd of August, and that happens that obviously live streaming via YouTube, but it will also happen live streaming on the 25th at 7 p.m. on Facebook. So please do comment. I'm going to pop the question up in a minute, and at the end of the month, everybody in the pot will be drawn. There will be a winner that gets the £15 gift voucher from all of the live streams. So I am now going to tell you what our question is, just to keep the fun going, and I think it's a nice thing to do anyway. So just to find out a little bit more about you as well, which is always lovely to find out more about our customers and what makes you tick. And so basically the question that is here today is: earth, air, fire, water, what element do you best identify with and why? So what's your element? Earth, air, fire, water. I know what mine is. Where do you come to life? What's your natural element, and why? Tell us why. I'd love to hear it. I can tell you what my natural element is, and that is basically I love earth. I'm an earth person. I like my feet firmly planted on the ground, preferably high up on a mountain, so I can look down and see down the valley. I'm definitely not an air, a water, or a fire person. Just my preference, but some of you love the other elements, and of course today it's very much a fire bird and a fire element that we're doing with these vibrant, beautiful colors. I do like the fiery colors. I love vibrant colors, but that's basically my preferred element, and I love it. I tell you why I love it. Well, first of all, I wasn't brought up anywhere near water, having lived in the southwest of Germany for the most formative times in my life. So I was literally on the ground. That was important to me. Walking, lots of walking and cycling, and mountains, and all the rest of it. So that probably is why I love just the earth. I've always been very close to it. So what's your reason? Why do you love your elements? Come on, let's have a little talk about that. And before we do this, I'm just going to have a quick look who is here in the house today. So we've got Ashley here, hello, and Olga, hello, Karen. On this dismal Tuesday here. Oh, it's not so dismal here. Let's talk about the weather. Why not? We always do that. It's sort of mixed, but quite warm still. We get the odd shower, but it's not too bad. I'm still determined to wear my short sleeves. Jane is there. Hi, Jane. Oh, her favorite hour of the week. How sweet is that? You're so sweet, Jane. You're always sweet. Rachel says, hi, fluffy friends. Missed you last week. Hopefully our internet is now fixed. Internet problems. Okay, let's, well, obviously it's fixed because you are actually commenting on here, so it must be good. Karen is making a cup of tea. And yes, can I have one, please? Diana is there. Hi, Diana. I haven't seen you in ages. It feels like ages. Sandra is there. Bridget is there. Diane is there. Gina, hello Gina. Got here this time, just going to watch, eat my toast and drink my tea. How very British are we? Drinking tea. V is there. Gemma, Vampire Venom. Jane has got her lunch ready and the Making Fairy Folk book ready to follow along. I like to watch rather than craft along. Ashley, remember your thumbs up. Yes, thank you, Ashley. Remember your thumbs up. We want to see all these thumbs up. I know how many are watching. I want to see that many thumbs up, please. Jane is another Jane. Serena, hello, Serena. Marion, I loved your little doggy that you needle felted. He looks superb. This is Serena I'm talking to. Hi, Lorna. Hi, Marion. Did I mention that already? Yes, I said Marion. We've got Angela there. Angela, thank you for saying that you loved the giant moth project. I haven't got any of these here at the moment. I've just come back from a show at the weekend and everything's gone back to the head office in Nelsworth. Susan is there. Hello, Susan. Jennifer, too, good morning. So where are you from, Jennifer? Tell us. Because it's definitely good afternoon at our end. Lily is there. So I think we've got 3 potential American viewers here, Jennifer, Susan and Lily. And Lily loves fire. Of course, I could be very feisty. Aha. Jennifer, Earth, so she says, pretty down to earth. And we're going into the chat already. Okay, I want to read the elements in a minute, but for now, let's have a look what we're actually making today. So I'll leave the phoenix here. So the phoenix is made mostly with wool tops. There's a trick to how to make these wings stand out to the side, and I will show you all of that, of course. And it's one of the birds that fits probably into the category of the peacock and the flamingo, and soon to be the swan as well. And all you need is a pipe cleaner, 30 centimeters. Our extra strong white pipe cleaners are the perfect one. You do need some orange wool bats. I've got a collection here. So in the book, I'm using the orange mountain sheep. Today, I'm going to use the red orange New Zealand merino. You could also use the mountain sheep flamingo or the golden orange New Zealand merino mix. You do need some white wool, some core, and then you need tops, beautiful tops. They can be, they should ideally be sort of fiery red color. We do have all these tops on our website. They're absolutely beautiful, whether you go more towards the orange or more towards the red. You can also use the rainbow one and just pick out the colors you don't want, which is basically what I've done in the book. And then also we've got our sunset space dyed wool, and that works really well as well. And well, I know something you don't, but I'm not going to tell you because some of you might be getting that at some point soon. I've got a bit of purple here as well. And oh yes, I wanted to tell you that we have right now, we have got a special sale where we've put together these massive bags of wool. They are really big. There's so much wool in there, and they're literally half price. You can buy all of this. Look, there is so much in there, and I thought it would be a perfect color to do the phoenix. There's a big bundle. You can make lots and lots of phoenixes. Big bash of red. Red will be very handy very soon when it comes to Christmas. And then you've got this beautiful other top that will work perfect for phoenix. And this whole wool mix is a limited edition. Once they're gone, they're gone. But it's only £12 at the moment on our website, and we have many others of a similar, definitely similar size and price. Well, in fact, the same size and price, but of different colors altogether. So if you're looking for vibrant fiery colors, and fire is where you want to be at, then this particular one is perfect, and there are others as well. To find these, go onto our sales page, and you'll see them in there. It's the quickest way to get to the discounted items that we have currently there, because we're making space for all the lovely autumnal and wintry items, and I'm very excited. We will be taking the first new kits with us to the September shows towards the end of September, but they will also keep checking, and they will be listed now and then. on our website. Right, so the first thing you need to do, I'm going to get my purple covered felting mat so you can see the white pipe cleaner a little bit better. And you've got your white pipe cleaner here. You do need a little bit of yellow. I didn't tell you that. A little bit of yellow for the beak. That could be the golden yellow, and I'm just going to use a little bit of our light yellow here because I can just reach it. And the technique that you will be learning here mostly is how to wrap the pipe cleaner with wool. Now in the book, the project starts differently, but it's pretty much the same steps. So just ignore, if you have the book, follow the book, or just do what I'm doing. It's exactly the same items that you'll be making, but I'm starting slightly different. In fact, I'm starting the same way, but I'm going to continue slightly different. So this end of the pipe cleaner needs to be covered with flat, tight wraps, and then you're going to bend that in so that you now have that bend covered with the yellow wool. And then you go over it again, wrapping the wool, and you can just keep wrapping it along the pipe cleaner. Make sure you've got a nice neat cover. So if it's not neat, just go over it again and pull it tight with every wrap that you do. I've just been teaching some really lovely, lovely people workshops during the Festival of Quilts, and a lot of the projects that we were doing, including some fairies, was teaching them to wrap wire with wool. It's a good technique and it is worth practicing it. So once you've done this, you're going to use the orange wool that you're using for the body to wrap the rest of the pipe cleaner. And that will be the color. If you're looking at the bird, here I've used the golden orange. In the book, I've used the mountain sheep orange. But what you've just made is that little nose here. That's basically that one here, slightly different yellow. And now you're wrapping the rest of the wire with the main body wool. So you're starting at the same end where you've made the beak, and you can actually now edge a little bit closer to the end of the beak and making sure that sort of just 1 centimeter is visible now. Now when you wrap the wool and you have to fold it over each time and keeping it flat like a ribbon, that's really important. Sometimes it is easier to turn your work round, so you're still holding the pipe cleaner in the same hand, but this time you're twisting it. Oh, not catching other things here at the end of the wire. And you're allowing the wool that you're holding here in this hand to sort of slither through your fingers, and that way you maintain a really nice tension as you wrap the wool around the pipe cleaner. So whenever I feel that it becomes sort of a bit bulky in my hand here, I just stop twisting the pipe cleaner, tease it out a little bit more, and then you can build up quite a bit of speed getting that wool covered. And maybe you can make lots of phoenixes for Guy Fawkes Night when the fires are going. Maybe it's also a symbol for the autumn and just the fiery leaves when they start emerging on the trees, and all the really red sunsets that we sometimes get towards the autumn and winter time. I mean, we're still in summer, so you could also just make it a phoenix representing the fiery sun that might still yet come from the skies and make us all hot. And of course, a phoenix stands for hope and rebirth, renewal, all these kind of things. You know, the phoenix rising out of the ashes. When you think everything's dead, something fiery comes from it. Right, there we go. So you leave the end uncovered. That's quite important. So about a finger's width, leave it uncovered. And now I've got a fiery stick with a yellow tip here. And that's my first. I'm going to put this to one side now, because what I'm doing now is I'm going to needle felt the wings next. So the wings of the I nearly call it flamingo, but of the phoenix here has got these purple edges here. And the way that I've achieved that is by using the rainbow color wool here. And I'm pulling out the wools that I don't want. That it looks like an impossibility, but it is possible. So you need to separate this. Some of you will have just done this with the tiger moth. So you want to keep the green away and the blue away and pull out the yellows and the orange. And also just get these out first and then pull out the red separately if need be, or any of the other colors separately. So I've got, you can of course use separate wool tops altogether. So I'm going to leave the rest in there because I don't want any green contaminating the wool. I'm taking that out there, and that's quite big, so I'm going to tease that out a bit. And what I do want is I want the purple to be on the edge of the wing, so I'm making sure it stays that way there. And that's going to be the wing now. So to get that nice and firm, I actually want it to be a little bit more mixed. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take the purple out. There. I'm just going to mix the red in a little bit with the orange to get a slightly more variegated mix here. If you want to avoid doing any of this, then you can also just use the something like this, the sunset, this one here. Not this one, this is not a sunset, the red tones Australian Merino, or you can use the orange tones Australian Merino, or even just a sunset, and just add a tiny bit of purple to it. So this is only, I'm trying to follow the book as much as I can. And then lay the wool out, so make sure that there's actually a bit too much purple in there, so I'm going to take some out. Lay the wool out flat on your felting mat, and now you're going to ignore the bits that it's a bit straggly here at the end, but you're going to felt first of all the middle together, roughly like there, so that you've got a middle point. I'm using a single needle for that. Felt it down, felt it together. I'm only putting the felting mat on top of my earth mat, so you can see the contrasting color better, and also my earth mat is a little bit dirty. So if you like that idea, then we do have these felt sheets that you can buy from our website. They're a viscous wool mix, so they're quite nice to use. You can clean them up, or maybe once they're covered in wool, you could make a picture afterwards. So I've pinched that in the middle here, and now I'm going to go straight to my multi-tool because I need to felt this down. And doing this is the Clover 5 needle tool. That felting this down, that will enable the wings to become stiffer and therefore stick out at a right angle. So I'm just going to turn that over, felt it from the other side as well, and stab it down all the way to the end. If you ever wonder how on earth am I going to ever get rid of these wispy fibers on my mat again, some of you might know that we have these amazing brushes, and they just basically lift it off. So you can tease it off and then take care of the rest with this brush mat. It also works directly on the earth-friendly felting mat. So if you ever need to use that, then feel free to get one of those brushes. They're very good and they last forever. And now I'm going to do the other side. Felt it down so that it's together now. So all the strands have fastened together, and it looks quite streaky. If you like the less streaky look, then just use a wool where the wool has been mixed better. I've also got a tiny bit of green in there. I'm going to pull that out. You can shorten the wings and make them look a little bit wispier at the end. Might look a bit softer, and you can still do that at any point by just holding on to it and allowing the wool to slither away from each other. So don't pull too tight, but just pull it out, and then you get this beautiful wispy and more even look on both sides. So don't fight the wool. The wool wants to work with you. Just allow it to slither away rather than stopping it from separating, and you're actually tearing the fibers. You're not tearing the fibers, you're just allowing them to slither away from each other. Right, so I've got my set of wings here, and if I hold them now, can you see that they're now holding their weight? If they're not holding their weight yet, then just felt them down a little bit more. I want to close this gap here as well, so I'm going to felt in here. It's just a question of felting it a little bit more. I would leave the ends wispy because that looks quite nice. But if you prefer a very straight cut look, you can also cut them with the scissors. That's fine too. This is definitely a time when you want to use your multi-tool. I mean, you can do this with a single needle, don't get me wrong, but it will take you a lot longer. And I love this multi-tool by Clover. I have been using for years and years this tool. I don't actually like it anymore. We still sell it because you can use it on the brush mats. But it's just not very, I just don't find it very sophisticated, and I have to change over to a brush mat. It just doesn't feel like it's working as nicely. And then of course you get all the fibers in the brush, and you've got to take that out. And then of course you've got another plastic item. So I prefer it, much prefer it on my, oh, not that one. I much prefer the Clover tool because it also works on the earth-friendly felting mat. And we are really trying to be very conscious of what we put on in our shop and in our kits, to make sure we're cutting out plastic as much as we can. And if it's plastic, it needs to be reusable so that it doesn't just end in your bin straight away. So there we go. That's I'm going to put these wings to one side now. I've got a very messy felting mat, and I'm going to show you in a minute what comes next. But before I do this, I'm just going to check in what everybody's elements are, because that would be nice to know. So let's have a look. We have got, let's read through from where I started out. Okay, Vampire Venom says, oh, there's loads of previous comments. Alicia is a water person, but earth is a close second. Jennifer says earth, pretty down to earth. Always said that. Olga says water. I love diving from a very young age and also love my pond. Oh, nice. Vampire Venom says I'm earth, sun, water, moon, and air rising with an affinity for fire. Now we're talking, what are we talking? Horoscopes, aren't we? Diana says, I think my element must be water. I have always been attracted to places near water. I've always enjoyed holidaying on islands. And now, of course, I live on one. Yay! On a very small one up in the north of Scotland. Gina says, I'm a water element. I love a deserted beach, looking out to sea and enjoying the feeling of space. Once we stayed at a chalet very near the sea, and all you could hear were the movements of the waves. And some of you will now say, "Oh, what a nice noise!" I found it absolutely horrible. I really didn't like it. I was way too close to water, and I do go in the water. It's not like I'm frightened of it, but I much rather be up on the mountain, away from water. So yes. Angela says, I'm definitely a water person. Always feel so much calmer when I'm near the sea or a river. I'm the opposite. V says, I am an earth person and feel we should do everything to look after it. Oh, yes, that as well, of course. But in that picture, I guess water is part of the earth, or the earth is part of water, whichever way around. Lorna says, I think my element may be earth. I love to grow flowers and love to see the wildlife they attract. I now have a cricket in my garden. Oh, I love the crickets at this time of the year. I've just heard them again, and it's so nice. Jane says, earth for all the plants and animals in nature. Yay, I'm with you on that one. Diane says, my element is water. My birth sign is Pisces, and I've always loved water. I love to drink flavored water and love swimming and listening to the rain. Oh, I hate listening to the rain. Isn't it funny how we're all different? I love it so much. Jennifer says, I'm in Eastern Tennessee, high in the Smoky Mountains in Johnson City. Sounds like my kind of place. Melissa says, hello, I love all the elements. They're all special in their own way, but water is definitely my favorite. Love being in water, especially open water for swimming. It makes me forget all about my MS. I think that's so amazing that these elements can work for you in that way. I'm very happy for that. Julie says, hi Steffi, my star sign is fire and I love nature, so not sure. Tempting as need some more needles. 5 broke with large projects so far. Oh no! Bridget says, I really enjoy water the most. It's the desired element for living in the outback or desert. I love the ocean. Is anybody a fire person? Fire or air? I haven't heard anybody air yet. Is the Halloween mouse available yet? Please, no, but we're packing it. It's almost available, so just keep an eye out. It's definitely big on our September plans. Carol says, I'm split between water and earth elements. I love the countryside, lakes and rivers, and also love swimming in the sea. I'm gonna read the next one who says anything about the air or fire. Okay. No, I'm not having any luck here. Sam says, hello Steffi, loved seeing you at the Festival of Quilts and winning the jar of fluff. Even more inspiration to thank you. So we did guess the weight of the jar, and people wrote their details down, and some happened to win it, which was lovely. And she was also at the show, but we are posting it out to you, some, because I know you had left at the time. Okay, somebody please tell me you love the air or fire. Okay, right. Let's move on with the phoenix. So the wings are made for this one. They're pretty. They stay pretty. You know, from something that was more like that to something that's now like that. It's definitely worth felting it down. So the next thing I need to do is a body shape, and I'm using the core wool for this. So you might need sort of maybe 4 to 5 grams if you're using the size that I'm doing. And I'm going to go to the overhead camera and show you how I'm doing this. So I'm rolling in the wool into a ball shape, just tucking the sides in as I'm getting to the other end. I want to get as many layers over my shape here as I can. And once I've got that done, just fold the last wispy fibers over. Just going to give it a couple of stubs. What am I using here? Oh, that's a twisted, that's not good. That's not the right needle. You want to use a medium needle or even a coarse. I'm using the New Zealand natural white. I actually really love that New Zealand natural white because it matches most of the other wool butts that I'm using in general. And so if I'm mixing it, it mixes really nicely. So it mixes with all the colored New Zealand wools. Right, that's all I'm doing. Just a little egg shape. That's all I'm doing. Leaving it, putting it to one side. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this in half, because we're going from literally from nose to body to more body to wings, and now we're going to the tail. So the tail needs to be now trapped in the bird here at the end, and the tail could be any kind of wool that you sort of fancy. All the measurements in terms of length are a little bit haphazard, so if you this is probably more sort of like maybe 20-25 centimeters, and I'm using the sunset, which is the space dyed wool. So different. Let's have a look. What is the difference? So if you're looking at this one here, to what is the different to this one, these are individual fibers, and they've been combed into one long fiber so that all the fibers run along the length of the fiber. This one started out as a white top, and then the sections of colors have been dyed as it was already one long strand. So it is a little bit more special, the space dyed wool. But in any case, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to trap this in that half bent pipe cleaner. I'm going to give that one twist just so that it's in there now. So now you've got to get the order right here. So you've got, this is going to be your body shape and neck of the bird, like that, if you imagine it like that. And now I'm going to fold this part here, where the white end is in half again, like this. And I'm going to trap the wings in there. And then twist it shut too. I'm going to twist this shut. I'm actually twisting it so that the white end is now facing forward. So now I've got the wings and trapped in that pipe cleaner here. Pull that nice and tight. And I'm going to hook the white bit of pipe cleaner around the neck. So I've got a shape here now. It sounds complicated, but it's actually quite easy once you do it. So the tail is going to be here. The wings will eventually, I've just flattened it so that you can see it better. This pipe cleaner end is now firmly wrapped around the neck. And guess what I'm doing now? I'm going to take my needle felted egg and place it inside here so that I've got an instant bulk for the body. And once you put everything into place, once it's covered with the right wool, and that's the next thing that we're going to do, you can see there is the whole bird is there. I've just untwisted that twist, so I'm going to twist that again there. So I've got the wings trapped with an orange middle bit here, and that's exactly what this is. So these two are virtually identical now, except that they're not covered, that this one isn't covered up, and that's what I'm going to do next. So to do this, remember, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can always stop it and then rewind it if that was a bit too fast for you. But basically now I've got to cover the body and I've got to build up bulk here to make the head. And but I'm starting by just wrapping the body with this New Zealand orange wool. Well, it's actually a red orange, that's what we call it. So work in small batches. You don't have to do it all at once. It's always best to work in small batches. Make sure that you keep that egg shape nicely trapped so that it's in the middle. And then work around the wing and the tail. You can adjust them later and color in the white egg shape, and also incorporate the wire that the covered wire that you have got running around the body as well. Felt it nice and close to the wing. So now you're sculpting the bird whilst you are coloring him in. I wanted to tell you a couple of other things that are happening at the moment, because this is always a nice time to tell you some news. Some of you are new to the YouTube live stream. Some of you might be watching this much later, but if you're still watching this in time, then you will know that we are going ahead with our Zoom Puffin starting on the 30th of August. It's going to be tight to get your kit, but if you were to order it today, and in fact you don't have to order the kit, in fact we're sending that out for free, but if you want to join the Zoom live stream on the 30th of August, you can still get your sign up for it, and we post it out as quickly as we can. And that is from 6:30 until 8:30 British Summer Time. Join us. We'll send you a Zoom invitation. We've got I think well, we've got 10 people joining us, and I think that's a good number because I want to be able to talk to everybody individually as well and help them. It's 2 times 2-hour sessions. One on the 30th of August between 6:30 and 8:30, that's British Summer Time, and then the second one to finish it all is on the 6th of September, same time. And if you are in the UK, you have a chance of getting the free puffin kit plus the toolkit that you're getting posted out. So in effect, you're paying for the Zoom. So that's still happening. And then also we have still got spaces on both lion workshops. The weekends are filling up slowly. The September 10th and 11th, and also the 17th and 18th, Joan will take a maximum of 8 people, and both of them are just over half full. So if you want to join her making this fabulous lion, then do get in touch. It's info@themakers.co.uk. It is a non-residential workshop, but we're very happy to find a local accommodation for you, or maybe you are local and you can make it to Nailsworth on those days. It is in our workshop, so you get a good chance to look around our shop and headquarters as well. And best of all, you can buy whatever you want that you might never have seen anywhere at the show, or what you haven't seen for real on the website. So that is still possible too, to join that. And if you want to meet Joan, then let us know. We are very happy to set up another Zoom meet where you can say hello to her and ask her questions. We've done that already, but we're happy to do another one because not everybody's always available when we're available. So please let us know if that is something you would like to do, and we'll just organize it for some time in August, still maybe next week, or even the beginning of September. Right, I am going to go back to the overhead camera so that you can see what I'm doing here. So I'm basically just felting down the wool that I've laid over the white ball, so to tie the whole thing together. So this is the idea now, is that you're literally joining it all up by colouring the bird in with this wool. Is anybody excited for the bat? For the bat next maker's box? I think a lot of people are actually. As I was surprised how many people are excited to making the bat. I chose the fruit bat. It's the Peter's dwarf epauletted fruit bat because it's such a cute bat. I love him. He's so sweet. And whilst it has given me lots of headaches, you won't have those headaches because I've had them already. This is always the thing. If I design something and it's causing me problems, by the time I've done it, it doesn't cause you problems, because the reason why it causes me problems is because I know that I have to simplify it, make it more accessible. So I've done all the thinking and I've had all the frustrations and all the swearing and all the chucking things in the bin so that you don't have to. That's the whole point of us putting these subscription boxes together for you, is that it's meant to be an easy ride for you. So I think that you will love making that bat, because I've got it sussed now after 3 or 4 attempts, and it's the wings that caused me the biggest headache, because I didn't want to use water-soluble paper, which would have been an option, but I wanted to use something new. I wanted to introduce, this is always the challenge, is finding a new technique for you guys that you can learn and then maybe transfer to other projects in the future. And I have managed to do it, and I'm really pleased with myself, but I'm not giving the secret away yet, how I've overcome my frustrations. So you will see when you make the bat, and hopefully you will like that and can use it for other projects too. Right, covering that body slowly, I'm going to have to build up some bulk on the neck and the head, in a minute. So I'm still felting with my medium felting needle, and I'm working around the tail and the wing. Occasionally there's a bit of a white batch that comes through. I'll just cover it with small wispy bits of wool and let them literally melt into the shape. So there's no transition between, you can't see that I've added bits of wool over the white parts that needed covering more. So it's all very, with fluid transitions, that's what I'm trying to say. And now I've got to work a little bit more on the head or the neck. Just got to pull that out a bit. There. And I'm going to start by adding more layers to the head. So we need to build that head up into a nice round shape. So I'll just add more layers here. Same way as before, wrapping the wool flat like a ribbon, but this time I'm concentrating it so that I'm building the bulk on top of the head. So it becomes a nice round head. And then I'm going to go down the neck to build that. It's a bit scrawny, that neck here. So I'm adding a few more layers here as well, with a nice transition between the head and then going down to the body, so that it doesn't look like it's not connected. We need to make it also have a fluid transition there. And then felt it down. All over. Definitely need to felt that head down a bit. Get that beak to poke out a bit more again. Do this on both sides. And we're nearly there, nearly there. I've seen quite a few from Robin emerge on our Everyone a Makers group. If you're not a member yet, feel free to join us. We ask you to only promote makers, products and ideas on that page, on that group. It's a private group. You're perfectly safe. We always have encouraging comments for you, and it's always full of praise, so don't ever feel you can't post anything. Poke your head into it and just have a look what the community is like. It's a lovely, beautiful community. I'm so proud of you all, keeping up the ethics of the makers by being supportive and encouraging, and because we all are learning. You know, we're all always learning. All of us are always learning. Now my wings have slipped down one side a bit, so I'm pulling them back up, but I've made a hole here now, so I've got to cover that up, which I'm doing now. I've been teaching many workshops at the Festival of Quilts, 2 a day actually, I've just been reminded again how easy it is to correct anything that you've needle felted. The wool is very forgiving and allows you to make mistakes, and you can put them right as well. So the tail is meant to be hanging down like this, so you could spread it out a bit and make the fibers join together a little bit. Because there's wire in there, you can actually manipulate it quite a little bit. I also want the wings to be that way around. I want the purple to be towards the tail rather than facing forward. So you can do that and join it that way. When you're felting down into it, remember there's a wire running through the whole thing, so be careful not to stab into the wire. But I think, like I said, you can manipulate a lot of this, and you can still felt into the wings as well. And now I'm going to add eyes and a little wisp of wool on top of the head. For the eyes, I'm using a tiny bit of that white that I had for the body. I'm just shaping it into a bit of a disc first. Lay it on the side of the head, stab into it, and then let the needle do the rest by pulling these wispy fibers in. So I'm making quite a neat edge by stabbing in around the edges as well, and that takes care of the really tiny wispy fibers. There you go. And then I've got a tiny bit of black somewhere, which is so small. Oh no, it's there. It's actually disappeared. This is actually not the black. This is the brown black. I really like that one. It's a really nice, almost more natural black. I'm going to twist that into a little ball shape and put that in the center of the white disc for an eye. And now all I've got to do is repeat this on the other side. So turn it over. First the white. Shape it a little bit. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to felt it down, but I'm not going to felt it solidly down, because I've got to just double check that I'm in the same place symmetrically to the other side. Otherwise you've got an eye that's much higher or much lower or further back, or but that looks quite good. So before you fasten it on, just make sure it's in the right place, because you can still manipulate where it's going as you're felting it on. My little blob in the middle. Felt that down. and hopefully I've got two. Oh yeah, they're not bad. That one and that one. And it is definitely in the right place. They're both here, there and there. And all I've got to do now is I've got to put that wispy tuft on the top of the head. Now, if you've still got purple somewhere from your mix here, then use that. But we also have a purple tone wool, so you could use that as well. Oh, look, there's a bit of Angelina fiber in there. All you do is you just shorten the fiber. And what I'm doing now is I'm going to take that off, because purple on purple definitely doesn't work now. So I'm going to do this separately. So you shorten the fiber by, this time you're actually tearing it, but you're laying it on top of each other. And then all you're doing is you're pinching that in the middle a bit and laying it down so that it runs along the bird. Stab it on, going in the middle in a straight line so that you catch all of the fibers. So on the top, slightly behind the eyes of the bird's head. And then when you fold this up, you've got a tuft that's sticking out. It's quite punky. And then maybe felt it down a little bit more once it's up. And then you can cut it. So or you can keep it, whichever way you want. You don't have to cut it. And like I say, if you need to adjust the wings a little bit more, you can still felt into them. You could even felt into them with your multi-tool still. If they've become a little bit disheveled, felt them down a bit more again. Do this on the other side. There's quite a lot of possibilities still you can do with the bird, because it's so bendy and posable and floppy in a way, but not that floppy, but it's making the wings definitely stand up to the side if you can manage to felt them down. And I haven't done it on this bird, but I'm just going to try it, and I'm going to cut these straight and see what happens if I like that better. I don't know if I like it better, but I'm doing it now. Just so that in case you wanted to do it, you can decide if that is something you want to do or not. You can, of course, always tease that whole thing out again. So you spread them out a bit, but they are now straighter at the end. So it's entirely up to you, but they're quite well felted. So that is what this looks like, compared to leaving them a little bit less felted and wispy at the end. So you can decide which one you prefer. And then at some point you're going to have to stop stabbing and decide that it's actually finished. I could probably stab this a bit more. If you want to add legs to the bird, all I can say is, because he's in flight, they would have to be, I would say, pointing back, unless you want to have would you have a phoenix that's standing up with a wings spread out? I suppose you could. You would have to poke some wire in there. I think that the green stem wire, if you want the bird to stand up, is probably not bad. Cover it with florist tape if you want it to be different colors. We actually do, sorry, I knew that was the wrong needle. We do all kinds of colors of florist tape now. Maybe, I don't know what color, because it's not a real bird, it's also not entirely, it's not entirely decided what color legs they are. So you can, it's a fantasy bird and you can make it up yourself, I suppose. But I think you'd have to poke wires in there. I don't think our bird legs would look that smart because they're a bit short, unless that's what you want. I really haven't thought about that. You maybe look at pictures of drawn phoenixes and see what people have, how they interpret the legs of a fantasy phoenix. And this is the one that I've just made. So you can see that a lot depends on adjusting it. I would hang it up, to be honest. I would put hang it up and let it fly around your room. And there's the other one for comparison, slightly different. But that's the two birds there now. And of course, oh gosh, that one is in a bit of a diving mode. And the different style of wings. So I'm sure that you can sophisticate, you can not sophisticate, what's the word, refine the whole design even more, because you're not just going to do this in an hour like I do. You're going to take a little bit longer and make it even more beautiful. I just want to have another little look at what is happening. I also want to tell you what the next live stream is. It's in fact unboxing, so talk about bats. That's going to be on next week. You will see the bat for real and also what you get in the box. At this point, I'm also recording some technical bits for the bat. And that will be available for those who subscribe to the boxes. That will be sent to you as a private link. And then the week after, we're going to do the Apple Child from yet another book that I've written from the Making Simple Needle Felts. And then it's already time to do the September Fairy, which is the Sapphire Fairy, which of course Sapphire is the gemstone of September. So if you are a September birthday, you might be particularly fond of doing a Sapphire Fairy. I've got one child that is a September birthday, so I might gift the fairy to her. And then the only other thing is probably letting you know that the upcoming sub boxes, yes, that's the bat hub. So I'm wrapping those. And then the surprise box is Indian Summer, and then the Sapphire Fairy, as I said. And just to remind you, the Aardman Robin kit is available to buy now. Have you watched the film yet? Come and tell us, what have you thought? Tell us what you think about the film. We really want to hear your views. And then, of course, are you going to make the main star Robin out of it from our kit? That would be fab. It's a great idea for Christmas, so maybe you just want to buy it as a Christmas gift kit for somebody. And last but by no means least, we are now half full for our winter retreat. Come and join us to make a magical, mystical horse based on, I don't know, some of the myths that are out there. Maybe it's a horse of your own fantasy design, and but it could of course be a unicorn, a Pegasus, a Kelpie, an Aryan, and many more. And that is held at the Wilderness Center, which is where I am streaming from right now. And there are only rooms that need to be shared, the rooms. I have to say that straight off, because we cannot hold the retreat otherwise at this venue, because we don't have enough rooms. However, it has occurred to me, if you feel really strongly about not wanting to share a room, because we're in the Forest of Dean, there are plenty of there's plenty of accommodation around, and I doubt that in January it's going to be off-peak season prices. So do let us know if you need any help finding something locally. It will not affect the price coming to the retreat, because we are hiring the venue anyway. So this will be, but if you are really, really desperate not to share accommodation with us, you have all the foods included in your so just because you're not sleeping in the house, you will be having breakfast, lunch, and supper with us, and all the snacks and refreshments in between as well. So you're literally just leaving us in the evening and coming back the following day. And it would obviously be for 2 nights. So you might actually be prepared to pay an extra 50 quid a night somewhere else just to have the comfort of your own room. And I'm sure it won't be very far from the actual venue. So there's an idea as well. So please do get in touch with us if that is something that you're interested in. If that's the only thing that's stopping you coming from the retreat, goodness me, we can easily overcome that, I'm sure. Right, just the last little bit of check-in. Oh yes, the book, if you haven't got it yet, it's the book that came out this year, 2022. It has got 30 magical needle felted characters in there. The book is actually split into the 4 elements, which is probably what's given us the idea of asking for your favorite element. So if you like water, you won't be shortchanged. Let's have a look at the water. That seems to be sort of the most popular part. Water, we have got fairies and little nymphs. We've got the kingfisher in here, so the water nymph, tiny fairy, the ice fairy, yes, of course, it's also snow and ice that is made of water, and frog as well, fish, and dragonfly fairy is here. And then we go to the fire section, which is where the phoenix has been taken from. I will be honest, the earth section is rather large. I wonder why, but that's the book. Signed copies available from our website only, so if you buy it elsewhere you don't get my signature, but that might not be important to you. So anyway, get it from us and support the makers and support me as an author, and I'll be very grateful. And oh, Vampire Venom says the birthstone fairy the day before my birthday. Oh, that's nice. So you definitely need to make a sapphire fairy. I nearly said sapphire, but I mean sapphire. If it's going to fly up, you would have the wings spread and it's standing on its feet. Oh, I see. Yes, you could just have it so like it's about to fly, and the bird legs are still touching the ground. We're talking, of course, now about the phoenix again. Bridget says Angelina fiber is for life. It really brightens everything and sticks to everything as well. Yes, absolutely. And I think we've even found it once in the kind of things when you feed your dog and then what comes out at the other end, there was a sparkle of Angelina fiber in it. So yes, even that gets brightened up. I won't say what it is. Oh, and Alicia said, once my husband found it in a windowsill in downtown Bristol where he was installing windows. Obviously, it had fallen off him. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, one tiny little sparkle lasts you a lifetime. It will just literally be, it will pop up somewhere and you think, oh, how did that Angelina fiber get there? So maybe that's one day we need to have a comment section on saying, where did you find Angelina fiber? What in what or on what or where in a weird place. Right. I think that's about it. Thank you so much for watching. Your name will have gone into the draw for our £15 voucher. So keep watching, and we will let you know at the end of the month whether you have been successful or not in winning a £15 voucher. Thank you so much for all of your support. Really appreciate it. Thumbs up. I hope everybody's done it, and do make sure that you subscribe to our channel if you haven't done already, so you get a notification if you allow it to notify you that we are going to be live. And if you need to watch this again, or if you've missed it, then come and watch it on Thursday the 25th of August at 7 p.m. over on our Facebook page, and that is still British summertime, holding on to it for as long as we can. And that's all from me today. Thank you very much, and lots of love. Bye.